Nyaku visits the beach in his community every day, picking up waste washed ashore. He recycles these waste items by using them for his paintings, telling the real stories of how polluted the sea is. But Nyaku has a wish though, to one day live under the sea to observe what goes on there and fight for it to be kept clean.
If I have the privilege to live in there, to see the life and how they also live in there, it will be one of the beautiful aspects of my life.
The importance of preserving the beauty of the ocean, Nyaku's artwork is a constant reminder of that.
We head to Senegal now to meet some more individuals dedicated to helping the planet, this time on shore. The NGO Nebede works in the suburbs of the capital Dakar, planting trees wherever they can. These include, first and foremost, moringa trees, as well as poacia and so-called flamboyant trees. They've involved the residents in the project. That's important because it's only when people realize the benefit of trees that they will protect and take care of them.
Planting trees is Nadei Sane's favourite activity. She and a group of volunteers want to make this sandy parking lot on the outskirts of Dakar more hospitable.
I'm planting a Samanea saman. It's a shade tree that can grow up to 20 meters high.
A large square full of shady trees. A place to hold celebrations and festivals, somewhere to meet the neighbours. That's the vision. A local NGO has managed to win over the local residents.
People need greenery. And as I see it, those who respect the environment respect themselves. So we must do what we can to combat desertification by planting trees all over the city.
But it's not enough to just plant trees. You need to nurture them as well, day after day.
It's imperative to involve the local population. That's what guarantees the survival of the trees.
The NGO actually took its name from a tree. Nebede is the word for moringa in the Wolof language. It's a versatile tree. Its leaves and fruit can be eaten or used for medicinal purposes.
Scientists have proven that trees bring rain by contributing to evapotranspiration. They trigger precipitation in the clouds. More trees mean more rain. And the more we cut down, the less rain there is. They say deserts advance, but they don't. It's humans that make it possible. So things must change. We must all plant.
Big cities are growing at a breathtaking speed in Senegal. In the past 60 years, the country has lost around half of its forests to urbanization. Tens of thousands of hectares of woodland continue to be destroyed every year.
There's a lot of pressure on urban centers. The population is rising, there's more construction, and fewer green spaces and trees. We're neglecting nature, and that's why desertification is growing worse in our country.
The result, shorter, later, and more irregular wet seasons. In the past, the rain began in June and lasted 3 months. Now things have changed.
Everyone knows that trees are useful, but we don't give ourselves the means to plant them. As a result, with Operation 1 Million Trees and what we're doing in the neighborhood, we are introducing people to the importance of trees, the importance of greenery.
One day, these trees will provide much-needed shade, offering city dwellers respite from the burning sun. Having planted 750,000 trees last year, Nebede is aiming for 1 million in 2020.
Nature is reclaiming some areas in our cities, and it also making a comeback in another environment where you absolutely wouldn't expect it to: military training grounds. These large secluded areas are used to practice military maneuvers and explode hand grenades. In Germany, for instance, many rare species have found refuge on army training grounds. Birds, wild cards, wolves, all sorts of plants and insects are more or less left to their own devices. In fact, most German military training areas are part of a European network dedicated to preserving biodiversity.
Constant tank movements and artillery exercises make nature conservation at this army training ground a complicated affair. Before the ecologists start work, the search party patrols the area to make sure there are no nasty explosive surprises lurking in the grass. They are always accompanied by a munitions expert from the German military. They found a missile. Its location is marked down and later bomb disposal experts will pick it up.
You have to search carefully as we use everything from small 20mm ammunition to large ordnance and explosives. Of course, it's much easier to find bombs than to find small munitions. And don't forget, we've been using this troop training area for 80 years, so you find all sorts of stuff here.
Those 80 years of army maneuvers have helped create a varied landscape in Baumholder. There are grasslands with wild herbs, as well as woodlands and brush, all ideal for biodiversity.
The grasslands are so valuable because they're hard to find anywhere else. There's no arable land, so no pesticides, no nutrients, no fertilizers. This is only for military maneuvers.
The army has all the heavy equipment it needs to preserve the natural environment. This armoured vehicle is used to take care of open spaces to make sure they don't get overgrown. It tears up shrubs and it flattens small trees. Germany has 1,400 square kilometres of land for military drills. The environmental group NABU commissioned a study and found something astonishing. Although there are pollutants like heavy metals and kerosene residue, the sites are ecologically important.
The situation in these areas is unique. The exercises create a patchwork environment. There are temporary changes, what we ecologists call disturbances. In areas where soil is removed, there are pioneer sites where rare plants can grow, as well as animal species you can't find in the regular landscape.
Destruction by tanks and artillery creates new ecological niches, says Army ecologist Wilfried Groten. Ponds form in tank trails and bomb craters, where frogs and newts can spawn.
This is not static environmental protection. Habitats are constantly changing. There are also valuable areas not in regular use by the military where nature can evolve organically.
In the areas used less often, they deploy sheep. Several thousand sheep graze all summer long on the military training ground.
What makes sheep really